Tuesday, right here on Local 4, NBC's hit show The Blacklist shows Raymond Reddington and Elizabeth Keene tracking down some notorious criminals.
Now, we know that it's fiction, but it seems so real.
Yeah, it does.
I mean, I'm addicted to this show. So before The Blacklist airs, we're getting a look at the real list of criminals wanted worldwide for the criminal lives they lead.
Yes, and joining us now live from New York is the host of The Real Blacklist. It's Richard Engel. Good afternoon, or good morning. Thank you for joining us. All right, it sounds like we don't have his audio.
Spies and murderers and others who are... we don't have audio?
Sorry about that, Richard. We have you now.
We do. Sorry, there was a problem.
We couldn't hear
you have
at
audio
first.
now?
Yes, we do.
Someone is trying to prevent this going on air, I
That's
guess.
exactly
But anyway,
what it is.
So I was saying this show, The Blacklist on NBC, is obviously a fictional show about spies and murder and terrorists. But in the real world, there are plenty of spies and murderers and terrorists. And in my capacity as a foreign correspondent, I often come into contact with some of them. So they asked me to host this show. And we have the first episode tonight. It's actually a story that I did. And it's about a Russian former KGB agent who was poisoned in London. He was slipped a highly toxic radioactive substance called polonium-210. And it's almost invisible. It's almost a perfect weapon, actually. It has really no taste, very little smell. If you're not looking for it, you're not going to notice it. It doesn't emit a normal radioactive footprint. And then we follow the trail, as Scotland Yard did, of this polonium poisoning. And there's some relatively new developments in the case. There's an inquiry underway in London. We meet with one of the chief suspects, who's now a member of the Russian parliament, who, although he was contaminated with polonium, says wasn't him.
Wow. Now, in terms of the folks that you're highlighting on the show tonight, are all of these people on this wanted list? Are some already arrested and the case is closed?
Well, there isn't. Well, there isn't such a a blacklist or a wanted list. These are just people who are living, in this case, he's a prominent member of Russian society. He's wanted by Scotland Yard. He's wanted by Interpol. Russia has refused to extradite him. In fact, Vladimir Putin just gave this man a medal for service to the fatherland. And as we've seen over the last several years, and really just in the last couple of weeks, that criticizing the Kremlin, criticizing Vladimir Putin, has been a dangerous activity. One of Putin's top critics was gunned down just in the shadow of the red brick Kremlin about 2 weeks ago on a bridge leading to Red Square. So there's something of a pattern here, that if you speak out against the Kremlin, against Vladimir Putin, and continue to do it, you sometimes have a very short life.
Well, you're talking about the dangers in terms of the types of stories that you're covering, but we have seen you put yourself in some pretty dangerous environments across the world as you're covering these stories, getting people to talk to you. Talk about the dangers, how your safety is protected as you're doing these stories.
Well, this show, hosting this show is not my full-time job. My full-time job is to be a field reporter, and that means covering Syria, Iraq, ISIS, and it's obviously the world is in an incredibly dangerous place right now. It's in flux. There's no respect for the profession of journalism. We're given no sense of immunity. If we talk to somebody from ISIS, there's not a belief anymore, like there used to be, that you need to treat the press with a degree of decorum so that they can get your message out. With the internet, they just don't care. They get their message out, and we're just another opportunity to be, kidnapped or beheaded or murdered or set on fire or any number of the horrible things that ISIS does. So yeah, being a foreign correspondent these days is a dangerous job. This series, however, was not particularly dangerous to film or host, but it just highlights the fact that there is a real life world of hitmen and mobsters and spies and criminals who are out there.
Well, we definitely look forward to the show tonight, The Real Blacklist. Richard Engel, we appreciate the talk before the show, and of course, reporter to reporter, we appreciate all of your work internationally. So thank you so much, Richard. Again, The Real Blacklist premieres tonight at 8 o'clock right here on Local 4.